What up? What up? What up? It's Rec League Podcast, man. It's episode 112. Bro Ed. My name is Randy Little. You know who I am. Every so often I get into this like headspace of like 112 episodes. That's crazy. If you've been rocking with us for 5 episodes, 10 episodes, 50 episodes, all 112 episodes, shout out to you. The reviews, the likes, the ratings, high, low, positive, negative, no matter where you are in the world, it's all love, it's all appreciated, because we use negative feedback too. On this episode, this episode is kind of a mess. I'm not gonna lie to you. We maintain though. We give condolences over some deceased celebrities, react to a trailer or two, and then we have a block. And this is your warning, because I forget to say it in segment. Fast X spoiler discussion. The Little Mermaid spoiler discussion. That's what we cover today. Rocket is back. Got E-Sig, Nick, the squad. Shout out Jay Merritt. Been with us the last 2 episodes. Just couldn't do this one. He ain't seen the movies. I think, I strongly believe next episode he will be with us. So, let's hit up off on them theatrically released movies as of late. Over the last couple weeks, Fast X came out. This past weekend was high-key pretty packed. Obviously, The Little Mermaid came out, but You Hurt My Feelings with Julia Louis-Dreyfus came out. The Machine came out. And then I'm blanking on the other About My Father, Sebastian Maniscalco, Robert De Niro. I wanted to see that shit and it didn't come here. Kandahar, another Gerard Butler action, came out. And then this upcoming Tuesday, man, I'm so hyped for this coming Tuesday. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse, obviously. And then The Boogeyman. And if y'all know me personally, sadly, this is not my biopic. The weekend of the next episode, we got Transformers Rise of the Beast. The 7th theatrically released Transformers movie. 8th theatrically released Transformers movie, because Bay did 5. Bumblebee, Rise of the Beast, and the 86 animated 8th damn theatrically released Transformers movie. And I feel like something else comes out that weekend and I'm not sure what it is. But yeah. And it's the 7th straight, because I was born in 86. I never saw the trailer for the animated movie. So it's the 7th straight Transformers movie that the trailers made it look like it's amazing. And hopefully it's a 2nd straight movie that's actually good. Physical media, Blu-ray, 4K, DVD, if y'all still buy those. On the 16th of May, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania came out. Looks like The Italian Job got a 4K with Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron, Jason Statham. The 1940s Superman serials got a Blu-ray. I didn't buy them. I just can't ever imagine myself watching them. Operation Fortune from Guy Ritchie got a physical. Shooter, Miami Vice, In the Cut. Shooter, Miami Vice. Those are 4Ks. Moving On with Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda came out. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember what the Collector is. I think that's a re-release. This past Tuesday, Shazam, Fury of the Gods came out. Creed 3 came out. Crank got a 4K. VHS 99. I never got into the VHS movies. This upcoming Tuesday, is that Showgirls getting a 4K? It's got to be a Vinegar Syndrome is putting Showgirls on 4K. That tracks. This upcoming Tuesday is the 30th. So it's actually pretty packed. Looney Tunes is on Blu-ray. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, 65. A Good Person from Zach Braff. Willem Dafoe, Inside. The name of the movie's Inside. He's not inside anybody else. And then Spinning Gold, which I'm blind buying. On the hope that it's good. That's all this Tuesday. The Tuesday right before the next episode. I haven't seen a formal announcement, but Blu-ray.com has Super Mario Brothers coming out. Some Indiana Jones 4Ks, some Jack Ryan 4Ks, Renfield, Tulsa King, the Paramount Plus show with Sylvester Stallone. That looks to be about it for Tuesday, June the 6th, my bad. So, upon my return, we'll be talking with the squad, Fast X and such, Little Mermaid and such. It's Rec League Podcast. And we back. We got the good man, we got the Sig man, and the Rocket. First thing first, Rocket missed the episode when we was talking about the movie that gave all the focus to his namesake. So, quickly, your thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Really good.
Okay.
Had me guessing quite a bit. You know, I was shocked that nobody out of that whole group died. You know, there were some moments where you thought maybe Star-Lord was going to die or Bella was going to die. Like, it was well made. Once again, the music played itself as a character intertwined in the movie. But I think James Gunn, when it comes to emotional beats, he's one of the top directors that can do that. You know, it's overall, it's definitely in my top 10, maybe my top 5 for MCU movies.
Yeah. You know, that second rewatch bumped it up for me.
That's what I was saying. I watched it the first time. I left the theater. I was like, holy shit, oh my God, that was so good. Oh my God. And I like put it real high in my ranking. And I thought about it. I was like, man, like, was it really better than this? Was it like, am I just coming out? Then I saw it a second time and I moved it up another notch. Like, I was like, wait, no, yeah, it's better than all of these.
All right.
Like, don't get me wrong. We'll take, for example, Infinity War Endgame. I think Infinity War is better than Endgame. And every time I rewatch Endgame, it's still good.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to see it drop down my rankings a little bit. And like, I think Guardians of the Galaxy is better than Endgame in that sense because of the emotional beats and all.
Yeah. So
not better than Endgame.
What's up, Nick?
Well, I was thinking out loud. I think my top like 5 or 6 like MCU is pretty set. But like Guardians could move up.
Well, so James Gunn just snuck one into my top 5, even though it took 2 watches to get it in there. We had some passings of celebrities over the past couple weeks. Ray Stevenson passed. Tina Turner passed. Am I missing one or two?
Those are the only 2 I know of or heard of.
All right, Eric, you uncharacteristically quiet, so pay your respects. That sounds like you just took their souls.
Let's go with Tina Turner. I guess for most people on here, they were introduced to Tina Turner through Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. And most people didn't even know she was a singer. But yeah, she did pretty well in that movie. And of course, she has the awesome song on the soundtrack. And I meant to check if it was nominated for an Oscar. If it wasn't, it should have been. I don't think it was. What you say, Nick?
Every day at my work, that song plays.
Yeah, you said it played the day when pageant was announced.
It's really weird to get the news like while I was at work, and I read it, and I was like, I just heard her doing Thunder now. We don't.
Mm-hmm. And how many of you have seen which is going to be 30 pretty soon? The biopic "What's Love Got to Do with It"?
I'm staring at it. I'm using a.
Sorry, dog.
Yeah, but like most biopics, I think it was a really good movie. But like most, it took some licenses, and one of the most famous scenes in the movie didn't actually happen. But
That song won the Grammy.
Oh, really?
Or did you say Oscar?
Oscar. I was curious if it got an Oscar nod.
My bad.
Any song can
Grammy. I don't see anything for an Oscar.
Yeah, I don't think they got Oscar nod. But no, it's a good biopic. I recommend the HBO documentary that came out, I think, a couple of years ago, probably 2019. I recommend that for accuracy over the
Yo, they was
the
quick
movie.
with it though. Like I told you, like I came home from work and you got to delete your HBO Max app, download the Max app, and the first thing on, like it had been like 2 hours since they announced she passed. That documentary was the first thing I saw. Like,
Yeah, he put it on the home page.
Max was not playing.
And of course, another thing is another song, which is crazy. For the James Bond songs that have not only been nominated but won Oscars, I don't think either one of them can compare to GoldenEye.
GoldenEye was a banger. GoldenEye was such a banger.
That was Pierce Brosnan's first James Bond film.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
And I think that's just a fantastic song, and of course, she didn't just perform it. I believe she wrote it also, co-wrote it. But yeah, that's unfortunate. A little piece of trivia. I guess Tina Turner was done with America. She renounced her American citizenship, and for I think the last 20 years of her life, she was Swiss.
Yep.
Good for her.
And that's just that's always interesting. They even say it when you look her up. A Swiss singer, American born Swiss singer, which is intriguing.
Yeah,
I know that until she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like kind of recently. It was like within the last couple of years, and she was like, "I'm in my house in Switzerland." I was like, "Eh, like what?"
Yeah.
A choice. But yeah, good for her. I always thought that was cool. It was dope. She also underrated soundtrack from Tina Turner. Soundtrack work was the Brother Bear, the Disney movie.
Oh yeah.
Like she and Phil Collins like did the song, and it's like this really good song movie that like no one ever talks about. And I was like, that's Tina Turner. I have more like memories and thoughts of Tina Turner. That's just no one ever talks about. They're like, oh, she did Mad Max, GoldenEye, Proud Mary, all these amazing things. And I was like, Brother Bear.
People also forget she was in the most famous movie of all, Last Action Hero. She was the maid.
Yeah, she was. Oh yeah, that's a little crazy cameo. Yeah, that's gonna be 32. Last Action Hero.
Dang.
Soon. Then you got Ray Stevenson. Sounds like it was like out of nowhere, completely unexpected.
Yeah.
Like dude was super young. Played the Punisher. He was in the Thor movies. He did a season of Dexter. Like really strong, like supporting actor guy. But like everybody recognized him, but nobody like really knew who he was. You know what I'm saying? He's like one of those guys.
Character actor.
Yeah.
Yep. Did a few leads. He was lead on the show Rome. Like when he got the Punisher role, that's what I knew him from. Like I was like, oh, I didn't like know their names. It was like the two guys on Rome. It was him and the Grey's Anatomy guy were like the two leads on Rome, and I didn't know which one was which. And I was like, I hope it's the bigger guy. And I looked it up. I just remember looking up, being like, oh yeah, it's the Punisher. That guy's
yeah.
But he's supposed to be in Ahsoka coming up.
Yeah, he did some
So-
Star Wars work too.
It's gonna be one of the last things he filmed.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. I still haven't seen this movie. The movie, and y'all tell me, the Indian film, the Academy Award winning Indian film, is it triple R or RRR? How do we supposed to say that title?
RRRs, but they kept on saying.
Yeah, they keep saying RRR.
I just know there's no way that shit should have took Rihanna's Oscar.
Yeah, I agree. We going back to the Oscars. But let me.
He was
so
in
we
that?
call him a character actor. What's that, Randy?
He was in RRR?
Yeah, he just listed.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody on here has seen it, but yeah, apparently it was a meaty role, and he was also in 2 movies.
Meaty.
He was in the Accident Man movies, starring Scott Adkins, and he had a pretty decent role in there. I recommend that if y'all haven't seen it.
Word.
But another movie I recommend, it's a lead by him, and it's a 2011 movie based on a true story where he plays Danny Green. It's called Kill the Irishman.
Oh no!
Fantastic movie. Fantastic movie.
Man, I think that's so nobody talks about it. It's such an underrated movie, and it got some hitters in there. Who's Christopher Walken, Vincent D'Onofrio. I think one of the last movies Val Kilmer did. Before he fully lost his voice, if I'm not mistaken.
You're correct. Linda Cardellini's also in it. You know, you got Robert Davi. It was a good cast.
Yep. From the writer of Jumanji. I'll turn it over. Go ahead.
Now, I'll be honest with you, with Ray Stevenson, like with him, he was Falstag in Thor movies. He was in Divergent. I mean, he was Punisher in Punisher Warzone.
Ironically,
Uh-huh.
My bad. Ironically, the director of Kill the Irishman directed the Thomas Jane Punisher.
That's great. That's great. But my favorite role in seeing him, like every time he popped up,
Nick, I hate you.
I would always be interested in seeing that movie. At the end of the day, though, I think his best role to me was in Dexter.
I did like Dexter.
Like the role he played in Dexter, it was.
That was just on Dexter's downslide.
Still though, he classed it up the joint, bro.
What I read.
Y'all gonna send me on a Dexter rant? I don't want to do it.
When I read it, I sent it to my dad. Me and my dad loved the movie The Other Guys.
Yes.
We just love it. Like that's just the funniest movie. And I knew, I was like, if I send him just the gif of the guy talking about like little dimples over a woman's buttocks, I was like, he'll know exactly who it is. Like he did. He was bummed out. But like if I sent him the Thor, it's like he was real made up and like real hefty, and I was like, oh, he don't know if that's him, but he's definitely the Other Guy's guy.
All right.
And the point, kind of his legacy, like on everything I've read, like he was pretty beloved for playing the Punisher, which is cool because I think Warzone is a little underrated.
Yeah.
Just a smidge.
I mean, a movie where guys doing parkour gets blown out of the air by a rocket, you can't not like. Like I wouldn't say it's as good of a movie as the Thomas Jane one, but like it's a better Punisher adaptation. Like it's like way more. It was like an adaptation of the Punisher video game that no one ever talks about, but I loved. Like when it came out, it was like if that had just been a game and then they decided to make a movie out of that game, it was the Warzone. If that makes any sense. But I did enjoy the movie and I enjoyed him as the Punisher. Definitely.
All right, we also got a trailer or two in the past couple weeks, didn't we? Killers of the Flower Moon was like a week ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks
pretty great.
Pretty good trailer.
It's new Scorsese. Like we're all watching it, even though he apparently directed some movie called Taxi Driver.
Stop it. Stop.
I can't help it.
No, like, I'm sick of people talking about the trailer already, though. Like, it was a very good trailer, obviously. The movie looked great, obviously. I'm already hearing that it is great. Like,
Duh.
But, like, it was a trailer. Like, it was a trailer. We got to sell the movie. Here's a trailer. And people are acting like it was the greatest trailer they've ever seen. Like, can you believe it? Yeah.
No.
It's like, sure, of Fraser and Robert De Niro. Look, can you believe it? Can't look at the framing of this shot. And it's like they're sitting at a desk. Like, let's chill. Like, you don't have to act like it's, look how stupid the Fast X trailer is versus this. I'm like, nobody's comparing the two films. Like, we're not comparing.
The first Dark Knight trailer was amazing. The first Iron Man 3 trailer was amazing. Every Transformers trailer is amazing.
Is amazing. I remember thinking The Last Night looked like the best movie when the first trailer came out. I was like, man, fuck, I'm excited. God, yeah. I don't even like the. And then it was shit.
That's what trailers are meant to do. They're meant to sell you. Like let's wait till October or whenever it's on Apple, because I know my theater's not gonna get it.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Hopefully,
you got Clerks 3.
I did get Clerks 3. That was a good night. Yeah. Eric, Rocket, who wants to talk about this trailer?
I just feel like fuck the trailer. I just feel like it's Scorsese.
Word.
You don't even have to look at a trailer. People are gonna go watch it. His name
that's why I didn't watch it. I don't need to.
I seen the trailer once.
That's it.
You got Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm sold. I'm in. The only thing is I probably gonna have to eat 2 meals during the damn movie because it's like 3.5 hours long. So it's like.
And now you're intermission.
But at the end of the day, when has he not put out something good? It's always it's kind of getting like Steven Spielberg or Christopher Nolan. Scorsese puts something out, it's gonna get nominated.
Yeah. Pretty much. Silence was mid.
No, Silence was good. Technically.
Good mid.
Nobody went and saw it though. That's the problem.
Yeah, I saw it with one dude. There was one other dude in the theater when I went and saw Silence. And he was a film bro type. Like, I could tell. I was like, he's gonna like talk about this on his YouTube channel when this is like, he's not just like cash.
But ironically,
but is it mid or just good? Because everything he makes is usually great. That when it's not great, it seems by comparison.
Silence was one of those movies to me where I was like, that was phenomenal. That was absolutely outstanding, amazing filmmaking. I don't see watching it again. But it was like unbelievable. I can't believe he made that. And then I was like, but do I like want to watch it anytime soon? Not really. Like,
yeah.
Not really. Like Schindler's List. Holy shit.
You're right.
You made the greatest film probably of our time anybody's ever going to make. I never want to see it again. Thank you.
You're not wrong.
The Pianist, another example of that. Like, movies you watch. Holy shit. Wow. Please never show me that again.
Yeah, I think it's just people expected a certain type of movie after Wolf of Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't that, but I think it was a good movie. It's nothing.
I really want to do, like, I do like my director rankings. I really want to do Scorsese. But there's some I haven't seen. There's some I haven't seen in forever that I couldn't, like, I haven't seen New York in forever. Like, I can't even. I haven't seen The King of Comedy in forever. It's like I want to
King of Comedy's so good.
But like,
The King of Comedy makes me angry. Because that, I mean, just for how good Robert De Niro is, that's what I mean. He's just that character, like, man, like, dude, and personally dealing with a stalker, I'm like, man, that was a role for him.
Let's look at the picture of you, and you're just like making this face. That's all there's. It makes me angry. Yeah, I want to do it so bad. Killers of the Flower Moon is going to be, compromised.
No, it's just funny. I'm not going to say any names. So Goodfellas, which many agree is one of the greatest movies of all time.
All time.
I use an example a lot. I used it on here, and when another person was on here, I was like, which movie do you want to watch right now? Goodfellas or Dances with Wolves? And, and this person like, I know you want me to say Goodfellas, but I'm like, but what?
It's not as good a movie. It's not as, it's a good movie, despite all this. But it's not
like flicking. Another example: flicking through the channels, and you come across Goodfellas. You're probably gonna leave it on the channel, even if you want to sit down and watch it, or just as background noise. You're probably gonna put the remote down.
Facts.
Dances with Wolves is technically a good movie, but I don't see myself like, oh snap, damn, Dances with Wolves. Like, oh, who has that reaction? You know what I mean?
Dads, bro. That's like a dad movie.
A24 groupies.
Like, oh shit, do I want Dances with Wolves or Goodfellas?
I think a lot of his movies, though, it's about rewatchability too. Like, let's take Steven Spielberg, for example. Most of his movies you could rewatch. I mean, like Nick said, Schindler's List. Yep, everybody got in the collection. Fantastic movie. I have it for the collection, not to rewatch.
Yeah.
With Scorsese, he has some phenomenal movies. The Irishman, Goodfellas. His mobster movies are rewatchable, but then he has some other movies that are also fantastic that it's a one-time watch. I think it's about how, he's one of the top directors in Hollywood, still doing it for over 30 years. And at the end of the day, it's a lot of people nowadays, it's when I rewatch this movie. It's about rewatchability. Goodfellas, you're right, Eric. You could turn on TV right now. If it's on, I'm just leaving it on. No questions asked. Where, certain movies, it's like, oh, I remember this. You have to be in a mood to watch that specific movie.
I just think of The Sopranos. It's like, Kundun. I liked it. Like, that's it. Like, nobody's watching Kundun.
No.
Talks about it. I don't know if I've seen Kundun.
No.
I feel like I did watch it when I was younger, but I don't talk about it. Like, it's not, The Aviator or anything he's done in the last 20 years. Hugo, The Aviator, Wolf of Wall Street, Gangs of New York. Silent. I put Silence in there. I put Shutter Island in there. Like, they're all just, wow, you didn't miss one. Motherfucker, don't miss.
Was there any other trailers that dropped over the last couple weeks?
Barbie came out.
Barbie.
Did I watch that?
It's a pretty good trailer.
It's just,
I don't even know as good as the other.
Did I? I don't know. It's just one of those like Rocket said, like, I'm sold. I don't need to see another trailer.
Yeah.
I'm a 37-year-old man, and I'm going to watch Oppenheimer and Barbie in the same day.
You're doing 8?
I have to.
I might have to do Oppenheimer Thursday and Barbie Friday. I feel like Barbie is going to win that weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I think Nolan and Universal know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want it to be one of those good weekends that, you used to get weekends where 2 movies would come out and just both do well.
Be bangers.
Yeah.
Everybody was eating. I want it to be. We don't have that anymore. At least since COVID, we really. Right now, you got Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Fast X, and Little Mermaid are all playing at the same time. It's Memorial Day weekend. They should all be coming in 40 mil. And they're not going to.
No.
One of them is really well, and the other 2 are going to kind of flounder. No pun intended.
And also, if you see both of those movies, I'm gonna go see both, but it's gonna be more like Oppenheimer first, and then the palate cleanse is gonna be Barbie. You know what I mean? That's the thing. And the funny thing is, I can see Oppenheimer making money like how Dunkirk did. Another good movie, and it's gonna make. I'm thinking box office worldwide, maybe in that range, maybe slightly more.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think I sent it to just Randy. I don't know if I put it in a group. Like somebody, a quote by Cillian Murphy saying, "People are allowed to go see more than one movie over the same weekend."
First of all, I'm pretty sure that was in the group. Second of all,
Yeah.
the quote was from Matt Damon because my reaction
Damon,
was
That
fortune
was Matt
favors the
Damon. There
bold.
you go. There you go.
I don't tell you fortune favors the bold if Cillian Murphy said the shit.
Yeah, it was
Fool.
my fault, Matt Damon, that knucklehead. But yeah,
They're the same guy.
They're not.
but
But
yeah,
yeah.
is there an official running time for Oppenheimer yet?
I've heard
it's
no
long.
less than 3 hours.
Mm.
I think, yeah, he said kissing. That was his quote. It's kissing 3 hours.
Wow.
No tongue.
It's an even 3 hours. They got it listed as 3 hours on the note.
That's 180 minutes.
That's not kissing 3 hours. That is 3 hours.
Is that with credits?
Right. I got the director's confirmation means Oppenheimer at least runs longer than 2 hours and 49 minutes.
Yeah.
And they should have some intermissions in these movies.
Segue to another trailer that I think has dropped since the last episode. They're talking about how long the new Mission Impossible is.
Mhm.
That's the one. I knew there was
It's
another one.
the longest trailer, or it's the longest of all of them, and it's only like less than 3 hours. It's like 2 hours and maybe like 40 minutes or something like that.
That's gonna
But
be
the-
brisk though, because you know that shit is gonna be so action packed.
Yeah.
Well, the
But
thing is this, from what I've heard and read, the movie is 2 hours and 36 minutes. That's
Yeah.
not including credits. So with credits, it's probably like on the 2:45 range.
With this being a
And
part
that's right.
one, there's a possible
only
post credit
part one.
scene.
That's what I'm saying.
Think of post-credit scenes. I did when I was Googling in the theater whether or not the Little Mermaid a post-credit scene, I was like, we've reached a weird place in culture where I'm making
Nick,
what are they
I'm
gonna
there with you, Nick. I did the same thing. I
Yeah.
did the same thing.
I didn't.
does Mario have a credit scene? God damn it, it does. Mario.
As soon as I heard that music, do 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 do, I got up. I just wanted to make sure they
people are
ended it
just-
with the same music.
People are just programmed. Like, I think, Nick, you saw Sisu, right?
I did.
And when the movie went off, I'm like, I'm pretty certain this movie doesn't have a post-credit sequence, but I'm like the only one getting up, and people just still glued. I'm like, y'all not just sitting here to read the credits. I'm pretty sure this movie does not have that seems like a pretty definite ending. I don't think.
I heard
Hypnotic.
it's phenomenal. I heard the movie's phenomenal.
It is. I recommend it. It's nice, short and sweet, and to the point. It's a hell of a movie.
Well, I recommend we take our first break. All right, so for the next, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I was thinking we could hit Fast X, spoilers, and weave in and out of the saga. But then what me and Eric, I don't know if I put it in the group. I don't know if I think I hit Nick because Rocket hadn't seen it yet. Have you seen it now?
What, Fast X?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know I hit Eric and I hit Nick one-on-one, and we was talking about like the group chat bingo card. Like it's crazy how entertaining I feel like this franchise still is, but how predictable it is, and it like kind of doesn't matter because I still not necessarily feel like the movies are good, but they're mad entertaining. Like I think we said that there was going to be a Fast 5 retcon to fit Jason Momoa into the plot, and that was the first thing we saw.
Yep.
The Rock was in the mid-credit scene. Gal Gadot was in at the very end. Charlize Theron is basically family now. What else did we guess that happened?
Nobody dies?
No.
Or
Truly. No stays dead? Like
No
John
one stays
Cena?
dead.
John Cena's still
John
alive.
Cena will be back.
Yeah,
Man,
he's alive.
John Cena will either be in
Man.
11 or 12. And that was probably like the most brutal death in the franchise.
Yeah, no, he's alive. And that's the sad thing is like, they're trying to hit you with emotional points in those movies, and I'm like, he's alive.
yes,
And then
And,
just
like,
take it
nobody
away.
believes it anymore.
Yeah.
right. It's no stakes.
No.
it's yeah. Because the Han thing, we got to see.
That pissed me off.
Let's see him die 2 different times. We thought he died one way, and then he died a different way. And then it turns out he wasn't dead at all. And it was like, oh.
Yeah.
We can everybody.
That's part of why F9 is my least favorite, because the Jason Statham being responsible for Han was like so like crazy. Like,
yeah.
Statham being Luke Evans' brother, like that was peak Fast Saga. And then, he wasn't really dead. Kurt Russell was in the mix the whole time, and no, dude.
No.
They needed to retcon. It was like Jason Statham coming in as the bad guy, and they were like, "Well, he was great. We have to put him in 8, and we have to make him part of the team, and it's got to all be like they're reluctant." Then that worked, and they were like, "Well, then we got to give him the spinoff with The Rock," and it was just kind of like, this motherfucker killed Han. Like, we're not freaking like this guy.
Yeah.
Want to love him. It's fun. It was fun seeing him work with the team in 8. But like, he's not. And like, they're probably going to do something like that with Charlize Theron, if I had to guess. Like, they're going to get on that submarine, and she's going to be like, "Guess who else is here?" And then it's like Dom's ex.
No, bro. They're gonna get in the submarine. And all of a sudden, Cole Hauser from Too Fast is going to be in that motherfucker.
I'm waiting for that.
I'll have my cutter back.
Eva Mendes, too. Shit, bring them all back.
They need to bring Eva Mendes back for sure.
Fast and Furious women movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spin-off.
Like, you put all of them in there, and I'm there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's teeing up at the end of Fast X. I mean, that has to be. 2 hot women walking through the snow. They're like, "What's that?" "A hot woman." And it's just like, go. And it's like,
surprise.
They're going to go save the day. Like, I don't know, like,
the day.
Like, Roman and everybody are in the plane, and the plane got shot down. They're going to catch it.
Oh, bro. That's how Fast X Part 2 or Fast 11, Unfasten Your Seatbelts, whatever we're going to call 11, is going to show that plane rubble. Tyrese, Ludacris, Nathalie Emmanuel, they're just going to get up. No big deal.
My ass is in fuego.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I like Ludacris. I like Tyrese.
Luda.
But they got to... I know that they're for comedy relief, but it's getting old real fast. The same lines over and over and over. Like, they got to do something different. They got to mix that up somehow.
I don't know. Like, to me, that's something that they're doing right. Is like they created like the team dynamic, and there's really nobody that you want to see. It's like, who's like the red shirt of the team? Like, who's gonna die? And it's like, nobody. Like, that would be weird.
Nobody's gonna die.
Well, technically, he's just like, his location is unknown. Technically, nobody's not dead.
They should call it Fast 11, 9 lives, because everybody has 9 lives in this damn series. So.
Brie Larson being his daughter would have said, "Yeah, my dad's dead."
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's up with that? Like, is Kurt Russell like busy? Like, why just like do it?
I see with Santa Claus 3.
Swear, scheduling conflicts. Too busy hanging out with Goldie Hawn.
Yeah,
but she would have to be in the woman movie. Like, honestly, yeah, you get the team. Everybody was like, "Oh, great, here we go." Woke, Fast and Furious. I'm like, no, like a movie with all the women from the Fast and Furious movies. Like,
didn't Michelle Rodriguez say that she don't want to do it?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sick of all these Marvel movies while I'm promoting Fast and the Furious Part 10, Part 1.
Facts.
Like, okay.
Yeah, and also trying to kick off another franchise with a famous board game. Yeah. Which not gonna happen. But
what? This lineup could hypothetically be Jordana Brewster, Michelle Rodriguez, Gal Gadot, Nathalie Emmanuel, Charlize Theron, Ratcatcher. I don't know how to pronounce her name from that was just in 10. They could bring back Dom's baby mama because nobody dies in this franchise.
Nope.
Which is her sister.
Yep. Brie Larson.
Brie Larson. Isa Gonzalez, Vanessa Shaw, Eva
Yes.
Mendes. Yes.
Yeah, I was saying, like, why wouldn't she have been in this? Like, she should be in the next movie.
Yeah.
That's always like, put Helen Mirren in there.
Helen Mirren.
Be on the. She should. I think like it should just be Helen Mirren like this. I think that would,
Man, like, you know something? Stop me if y'all talked about it already. And
Stop.
don't. So we understand what the actual reason is, which I go back to part 7 and say, I don't know, it's real tricky. I'm sure they had these conversations in the room when Paul Walker passed away. But given what they presented to us, even in part 7, if it was part 7, when Mia was talking about what Brian said about missing the bullets. Like, I don't miss the women, I don't miss this, I miss the bullet. And then in part 8 and 9 and 10, like, oh, Brian and they're safe. They're, you know, Brian, as we know him, would be diving headfirst into the action.
Absolutely.
And it's weird, it's bizarre. And the part 10 opened up with the dinner, and they mentioned him, but he's, you know, we understand why, but that's why I think they should have sent them. Yeah,
everything they're doing with it is odd because it's like, okay, like Dom will go into the garage. There will be pictures on the wall of like movie stills, like
yes,
yep.
It's like that's the DVD cover for Furious 7. That's not. It was like, guys, smile. Like they're like looking at, you know, it's a picture of them staking out the bank vault in 5. It's like, oh, classic us. And he's looking and he's like touching. The like piano starts playing the song, and he's just like, I miss my. And then it's like the next line is like, don't worry, Brian's in an undisclosed location. There's a terrorist nuke on the way to the Vatican. And it's just like, okay, Brian's safe. Let's get it. Like everything they've made with it is weird.
Yo,
I'm curious
You're
if
not
they
asking, you're not asking
presented.
the $1 million question, Nick.
Yeah, what's that?
Who took those pictures?
Like there's nobody.
That's what I asked myself. I'm like, oh.
But what I'm tripping
I
on,
was thinking,
9 ended, and they all but say Brian's on his way to this dinner, right?
No, they showed the car pull up.
I know they showed the car pull up.
Yeah.
And then when they're doing their thing, like Jason Momoa sets up Tyrese, and they're doing their thing in Rome or whatever, and John Cena shows up in the Tat gear. This is at Jordana Brewster's house, right? Brian, like Dom's son. Is this
No,
it's at Dom's house?
at the Dom's house.
Yeah.
But she's
Okay.
watching the
So that house just got fucked up again.
Right.
Like after they just rebuilt it. That because in the theater I processed it like they're at Jordana Brewster's house. How are they doing this? Like is it Brian just at the grocery? Is he just like
Brian taking out all these?
did he just pick up like a 9 to 5 and he's like at a library or some shit?
That, I feel like, and I can't remember because it's been like 2 weeks now, but like, didn't they say, like, did Brian like start being a cop again or something? Or, like, did he start doing something again?
I don't remember.
Like I feel like they said it like offhand.
I just know that John Cena did his WWE finishing move through the second floor.
Like the floor.
Yeah. It's just like when a wrestler becomes a movie star, like they have to hit their finisher in one of the movies. Like The Rock did the rock bottom in like The Rundown or some shit, and John Cena finally hit his finisher.
Now, and like I said, I'm sure a lot of these conversations were had in that board meeting, deciding what they were going to do moving forward from Paul Walker's death.
But they haven't yet.
Yeah, and just like with Wakanda Forever, Chadwick's brother at least said he wouldn't have minded. Chadwick wouldn't have minded if he was recast, according to Chadwick's brother. But I'm sure they had to at least brought it up casually. Like, what if we recast Paul Walker, even with one of his own brothers? Because the one who looks like him the most is Cody. I don't know how good of an actor he is, but they had to make a hard decision. Like, Nick says it's odd. Y'all got to make a hard decision.
I think Vin Diesel just put his producer hat on like he did with The Rock and was just like, no.
Yeah, we understand you want to pay tribute to him. We understand that.
That's why they played the Wiz Khalifa song.
I
saw the F9 trailer the other day from like 3 years ago. It came up on my Instagram thing, and I was like, it's like that trailer starts with it real slow.
Algorithm is bugging.
For a mile at a time, but now everything's changed. And it's just playing that song. And he's like looking at a picture. And I'm like, dude, you lost. Nobody died. Your family's fine. Everybody's fine after.
Yes, and it started right. That's just the thing. But no, when I stop me if y'all talked about this. So, did we talk about Jason Momoa's performance?
I kind of loved it.
Phenomenal.
So
he was a little too cartoony, but he brought the fun element.
But you know what? About that, my description of it, my opinion is he's the only one who knows what movie
exactly.
He's in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
He was having fun. Yeah, he knew. He's like, dude, this is the 10th movie in the franchise. Like, I'm clowning.
Yeah, and it works. And like, man, you ain't got to be the super serious and mustache twirling, pinky to the mouth.
Death isn't necessary when suffering is owed.
We haven't had like a mustache twirling like bad guy Fast and Furious movies. Like everyone else is usually like super serious, or like Luke Evans. Like, of course, this dude is not fighting Vin Diesel, but like he's like bro, and it's like this was just kind of like gonna blow up the Vatican, and it's like really okay, like it was fun.
But like Eric, to your point too about Paul Walker, what they're doing with this franchise, it seems like they're gonna paint themselves in a corner where
they've already doing it.
Yeah, they're gonna have to bring him back regardless, because it's gonna now get to a point where if they don't, none of this is gonna make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I read an article that the Walker family is trying to. They already okayed if they brought his character Brian back, and maybe they do something what they did in Fast 7, like you said. I don't know how good Cody Walker is as an actor.
Yeah.
So that's going to play a big part. But
I mean,
the Walker family is all in for him, his character at least, coming back. Now, if they do it, I could see maybe they bring it back for the very, very final Fast movie, whether it's the next one, or if they make this into a trilogy, how, I don't know.
Oh, they'll find a way.
Yeah, true. But whether it's Fast 11 or let's say Fast 12, it's going to be
or Fast 20
for the very final Fast movie.
Fast 20, we're still making money.
That's going to take a lot of work to do.
I'm so conflicted with that, like, because especially in like the state where we are with like AI and all that stuff. Like, I just feel like, man. It's like it would have to be something like, like Ghostbusters did with Harold Ramis. Even I thought that was a little too much. Like, I was like, dude, he's on screen for a long time, and he has been dead for almost. But he didn't talk. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, they hung with it probably like 30 seconds too long.
Yeah, but I was like, man, he's in this movie a lot. But then some Ghostbusters fans I saw were like crying and freaking out, like they thought it was amazing. So, and like like Rogue One, like it was cool when like Grand Moff Tarkin was in it, but at that time we didn't get a lot of stuff like that. So it was like, wow, how'd they do that? Didn't matter if it looked kind of shitty. It was like, whoa, crap, like that's all. Like now it's like you're doing it with us. Like, are we really gonna do that with like Paul Walker?
And that's the thing is, if we do it Paul Walker, it's gonna be a whole entire. He's gonna be a big part of this movie.
It was a big, it was big. Him dying the way he did, when he did, was such a like. I don't know. It was such a big deal that it was immediately like you can't just like put somebody else in these movies like that. It's like, that's weird. Like you get so like to do it now. I just think unless it was just him sitting at the table real quick or something like that. Like you couldn't do like a fast like Avengers Assemble where everybody from every movie comes out and then Like, let's do it. Like, I don't want that. Like,
but you know what? Even at this point, like Rocket was saying, painting himself into a corner. Like all of a sudden, like you'll be saying that if they did this, he comes back for like 11 or 12. It would probably be 12 at this point if they make.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be like man, you would want to be in the heads of one of the characters, like, where the hell you been, Brian? from within the movie, of course.
That was obviously your Tyrese voice.
But that's the thing, though, too, is like you want Brian, their son, and Mia to be safe, but yet Jordanian Brewster's in the last two movies, like,
yeah, she
in the shit.
Peril half of the time.
Yeah, I'm
like fuck this. Like she wasn't, and she was like, wait, I'm missing out on the bag just because Paul Walker died. Like, no, fuck this.
Right.
Like,
because wasn't she not in one of them? She wasn't an 8, right?
8. Neither of them were. And they were even like,
she was in an 8.
Yeah, they're like, no, Brian and Mia can't fall to that.
My theory is this: is in 10 when Mia left the house and jumped in the car and get away. My next thing is she went to Brian, and I bet you if the next one is the last one, Fu Manchu is coming back. That's all I know. So.
No. I don't know. They've got one more. Like they've been talking about making it a trilogy.
Oh, please.
More. They've got one more in them that I'm
very cool.
I'm like, let's finish what you do. All these cliffhangers, literally cliffhanger. Where he drove the car off the dam. Let's finish these.
Yo, with his kid in that motherfucker though. Yo, his kid did the suicide dive from car to car and shit. And he basically drove down the Grand Canyon or whatever the fuck it was. I know they was in another country, but bro, your kid is in on the mission now.
Yeah.
And Vin Diesel just doesn't it's like he looked up the plane full of his friends just got blown out of the sky. He found out the cop he's been working with, this bad guy. He's like, I took everything from you. Like, you didn't take my car.
I think I messaged Randy. Go ahead.
It was like, that's it?
Yeah.
Flashy cover.
And one thing so spoilers, we talking spoilers, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So through the whole movie, the race,
let's race.
Jason Momoa was using those little bombs, right?
Yeah.
That slide under the cars. He used that twice during the race, during the chase scene at the beginning. And then at the end they had the bigger versions of them, right?
Yeah.
Because they were on the dam. I'm like, man, how the hell they get those big ass? They look kind of cartoonish, not phony, but just how big they were.
No, they look fun.
But that's the thing, though, too, is in this movie that too many things are too coincidental in the sense of how did you know Vin Diesel was going to end up on that spot and you knew he was going to ride off in the don't let any social worker in America see this movie. They're going to be going for kids' rights and all that. But at the end of the day, it's how did you know he was going to do that? And then to put the bombs there, some of the stuff I understand
because he told him
suspend disbelief, but sometimes I feel like they go too much over the top. Now, I still think this is better than 9, for sure.
Yeah.
The car scenes, the fighting was phenomenal. But at the end of the day, it's the dialogue, that's something I would write. I mean, it wasn't good.
He said that's about right.
And these movies ain't gonna win Oscars. You got to turn off your brain and just like Brandy said, enjoy it for the entertainment. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, though, it's sometimes there has to be some verisimilitude in the sense of get something this is already over the top, but rein it in a little bit more.
I mean, we were joking before the last movie that what they're gonna do next, go into space. So after
man.
Yeah, I mean.
But what was I saying?
9.
So, Big Boy, what's his name? Jack Reacher, the actor.
Alan Ritchson.
Alan Ritchson, yeah.
So I think I messaged Randy on this one. Like, they better have him and The Rock fight.
Yeah.
It was like great value Rock. He was like diet.
Yo, but like
Diet Rock.
that was like the best part of the writing to me. Like I never expected him to flip. I never no, actually I take that back. There was one point when they finally apprehended Dom and they had him in the back of the truck. I was like, dude, Alan Ritchson's dirty. I just said to myself, like, Alan Ritchson's dirty. And it still took like another half hour, 45 minutes to officially confirm it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the way it played out, like I liked it.
Yeah, but I give them credit on actually doing the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was because I don't know, did they actually even start shooting the next movie? Because that's kind of ballsy.
I think they like right after it came out, they just confirmed that Leterrier was coming back, so probably not.
Yeah,
for 11.
But hey,
but did we speak?
Also
we were
said
talking
that
earlier
Justin
about
Lin was coming back too.
Well, yeah, that's true. But
Justin Lin was just over Vin Diesel's shit.
Yeah, you could tell in that infamous clip. That he's just like, man. But now, what was it? I forgot. No, what Nick said about him. Like we just like predicted every freaking thing, but one thing specifically, if y'all talked about it already, The Rock, and I think Nick was talking about his little so-called Southern-esque accent.
You son bitch.
And he brought that back. I'm like, damn, he said that hard. Like, you some bitch. He hung on it like, damn.
Hey, when Black Adam doesn't do the numbers you expect and DC changes the locks, you gotta swallow your pride. I'm
curious about that timeline.
You gotta swallow your pride. I guarantee he filmed that shit earlier this spring.
Yeah, you think before Black Adam did what he did, that's what I'm yeah, it is. I'm glad.
Because when was it? Like this time last year, Vin Diesel was basically sucking him off. Dwayne, come back. The family needs you.
Yeah, he put it over social media. So
yeah.
And
so I'm curious.
Having it either. Like he was like, I saw it. He was like laughing. Like Vin Diesel said something about like how much control he has on set. And he was like, I don't look at myself as being Fellini-esque. Is like what he said.
Yeah, I saw that.
Vin Diesel was wild.
Rock was laughing at that shit. Like he was like, yeah, he's Fellini-esque. And then he was like, I wish them luck in all the Fast and Furious movies that they're gonna do in the future, all of which will be without me, or something like that. I was like, dang, that was like a year. Yeah, that was like promoting Black Adam.
And I guess it's just an opinion at this point, but hell, we can talk about it. It's the podcast. You think it was money or genuinely they squashed the beef or combo?
I do. It's hard telling because everything you've heard about The Rock behind the scenes on these DC movies, he was kind of on his Vin Diesel shit.
Yeah, the irony of that.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like at this point, I'm like, is there Vin Diesel shit? Because like there's Vin Diesel shit.
The way Justin Lin was bailed.
It was like The Rock making Fate. And everybody kind of assumed at the time, they're like, oh, Vin Diesel must be a real diva. Oh, Vin Diesel real hard to work with. And like you look at like that, and they made Hobbs and Shaw, and none of those cast members wanted them to make Hobbs and Shaw.
No.
Yeah.
Then F9 got pushed again, and it's like, oh, well, at least we got Hobbs. And then he goes and does kind of the same thing. Like you've got Zachary Levi and all these people like, oh yeah, he doing what we were gonna do with Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
It's probably it's somewhere probably in the middle. Like you got two big egos, and
that's exactly it.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere in the middle like that because
both egos, both alphas, both got to have their punch count so they can't look like a bitch.
Yeah.
I think it's this because, like, I want to see John Wick fall down 80 flights of stairs. I don't want to see him not. It's like John McClane walks out of Die Hard looking like absolute shit. Like he looks, and they hug and they cry. I'm like, that's what makes the movie better. I don't want Dom not having a scratch on him.
Well, I read an article, Hollywood Reporter, said it came out May 19th. Luis Leterrier basically he reached out to Dwayne Johnson after the movie was made, and he had a bunch of ideas. That's how he lured him, and he says he wants him to be in it.
Ooh.
He wanted him to be his character to come back. I think they filmed that after the movie because he said he had ideas of where he wanted this character to go. That's how he brought Gal Gadot in it as well.
Right.
So he's the one that reached out to both.
So
of
after
them.
principal photography,
That's
they
what's up.
shot that. Yeah.
But it's like, what's up, Rocket?
No, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, Jason Statham basically had his extended cameo, goes off into parts unknown. The Rock gets the mysterious Dante phone call. They kind of set up Hobbs and Shaw, too, if they wanted.
Yeah.
Because I gotta know who that voice is.
That's what I wanted to touch on, too.
Keanu Reeves. That's supposed to be Keanu Reeves.
But Alan Richardson said that he took over that role.
Yep.
He's the voice at the end of Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
But he's all like, so he been running ever since Kurt Russell disappeared. He been running the agency and all of this shit, working for the Jason Momoa character the whole time. They could do some dope shit.
They can.
They have to do it. I think there were some punches pulled with Fast X. I think, Little Nobody, Scott Eastwood, died in this movie.
Yeah.
It was enough to have him come back, and it's like, okay, I still don't understand where Kurt Russell is. But it was like, okay, he's back. Then he was driving with them, and they put the bomb, and he did the boom, and the bomb bled, and then he, jumped out. I was like, why'd you have him jump out? Is he going to have a huge part in 11? No. It's like he could have died, and it would have been like, oh, this guy's not fucking around.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I wanted Brie Larson to die. I think it makes very little sense like that. She got shot on the bridge, and he was standing over her, and I was like, oh, he's going to kill her. And, he just didn't. It's like, thank you. And walked away. I was like, okay. I killed her. He killed the dude in Cuba, or Brazil, not Cuba. When Tom went back, killed that guy.
He was having a mani-pedi party with them corpses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That scene was so weird.
Just random cops.
Yeah. I think there could have been more maliciousness from Jason Momoa.
That was the scene where the crowd is supposed to oh, he's crazy. This guy's unhinged.
You know what opportunity they missed?
It was a little too goofy.
A little bit, I liked the goofiness. I think they could have offset it just a little bit with a little more serious. When he first came into Charlize's thing.
Yeah.
Kind of badass. He was mad. He's kind of scary. I think they could have and then they didn't do that again. And the rest of him, every time he showed up, he was like, oh, dummy. I was like, why do you talk like this? Talk like that.
That's a good point.
The one line I needed with those corpses was, I'm glad you're dead.
Stupid.
Hey, bro, it's Fast X, the new Joker brand. I get a grin again and again.
Yeah. So, which movie was
so
dude in? He was in the guy that got blown up by Jason Momoa in the race.
5.
He was in 5.
Duh.
Yeah.
They missed an opportunity because there's no oh, hey, it's that guy from 5. No really emotional. I think they should have brought back Hector for that part.
Yeah, that would have been good.
But Hector's from LA though. He's not from.
He wasn't in Brazil.
Yeah, this is Brazil.
Oh, that would have been too far fetched to bring Hector.
Flashbacks.
For all that, we could have brought back Cardi B or Iggy Azalea.
Oh no,
yeah, Cardi B. What was her? Who was she?
Oh,
she was just in the stupid armored car in 9.
Yeah, they were part of something, whatever.
Oh no!
But that's my thing. Like Eric said, I agree. They could have brought Hector back. You telling me they're retconning deaths and they don't, from flying to Brazil to all these. They couldn't use freaking fly miles just to fly that guy in. I mean, it's like at the end of the day, if you think about it, you have starting in Fast and Furious. You got grease monkey mechanics racing cars. Great. Now they're world espionage spy trained killers How did they get any training? No idea. And you got Vin Diesel knowing everybody in every part of the world. How does that happen?
How else do you clear your record?
It really makes no. You go back and watch Too Fast. Ludacris is basically like he like runs, you know, all the like underground racing and all that stuff. He basically collects all the money and organizes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it. He's got that little mechanic dude with him, like the Asian guy.
His name is MC Jin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Tej, you're about to lose your garage. He all the stuff. Like everything in that movie, like they ask him all the questions. He's like, I haven't seen that in forever. I'd have to look into the black market, blah, 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 blah. It's like, why wouldn't they have called him instead of Ludacris to be like the tech guy? Like it makes no sense. I know.
Yeah, they just plug that in. Like
Jin got to be so salty. How how the Asian influence kind of took over the series when Justin Lin came on, and he ain't get no call.
He's like, what the fuck, man? It's like you even called man from Vince. Like Vince even got to be in 5.
That's a fact.
Oh my god.
Either 11 or 12 definitely is bringing back Chad Lindbergh.
And they did it in 9 too. None of those Tokyo Drift guys were rocket scientists. None of them were scholars.
Little Bow Wow apparently is.
But like all of a sudden they were like, we've been working on this for years. And it's like, how long could it have been? Because timeline wise, maybe a couple of years ago, you were in Tokyo facing off against the Drift King to become the new Drift King and culturally appropriate the whole and like now you're just putting rockets, like this is your new venture? That doesn't make any sense. Also, they need to be in the next one also, like all of those guys.
Yeah.
Something else I liked about 9, I was like, I love that they brought them back for no reason other than like we need somebody that we know to be these characters.
They got to bring back Sonny Chiba one time.
Yeah, that was boy. All
right.
Man, we're bringing back Brian.
I feel like we gonna cap this off. I feel like we kind of ragged on this movie the whole time, but I swear I enjoyed it.
I did.
Same here.
7 through 10, I think I've given like the same rating for everything. Like all about as good as one another to me.
Yeah.
Until one of them is god awful, like I'll go see him.
Like 9. But we gonna come back. We gonna come back and do a hard swerve. So be ready for that. All right. So as I said, hard swerve from family to Disney live action reimaginings. Rocket, did you see The Little Mermaid?
Yes, I did.
What you think?
It was good. It was good. I don't think it was like. I think there was other live action Disney movies better, but overall, it was pretty solid. I think it was a little too long, but it was good.
And Nick thinks it's the best live action remake Disney's ever done. Nick has no sound. Sweet. Son of a bitch. I have 20 movies on my list of Disney live action remakes, but like I'm counting like Christopher Robin, which is technically a sort of sequel. Cruella's like a sort of prequel. So like, but it's like they're doing their thing, and it's in the family, to pun back to Fast and Furious. So I have The Little Mermaid 10th out of everything they've done.
My thing is this. First of all, Christopher Robin. I'm not a big characters. I didn't grow up on Winnie the Pooh and all that stuff.
I love
that movie's awesome.
I love Christopher Robin.
That movie's really good. Cruella's up there. See, to me, I think my top 5 live action, and this is just top 5. I haven't done like 6 through 10. I think Cinderella's up there. I got Beauty and the Beast up there. Aladdin. I'll throw in, and I like I said, I ain't even included Cruella. Now, after that, I would have to say Jungle Book as 5, but that's what started off all the live action stuff. And at that time, I mean, it was phenomenal. You know, I go between that and Lion King, but Lion King to me was shot for shot of the animated movie. So I mean, but either or, but Little Mermaid is definitely in my top 10.
Yeah, I think my top 5, I got Beauty and the Beast, Jungle Book, Christopher Robin, Cruella, Aladdin. 6 through 10, I got Little Mermaid. For whatever reason, I really like Lady and the Tramp. I don't know if it's like they put
that movie's underrated.
I don't know if they put like a theatrical budget into a streaming movie, but it just stands out. And then Cinderella, Maleficent, Little Mermaid.
The funny thing is we think about Lady and the Tramp as, well, if it would have went in theaters, it wouldn't have made as much money because we already mentally are thinking, yeah, it's with Disney Plus. But I got a feeling if they would have released that theatrically, I think it would have done pretty well.
Yeah. I think Nick's gonna try to plug back in.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I thought it's crazy. It's like it's a sign of like age, you know what I'm saying? Everything that they redid, I felt like it worked. Beat for beat, every song, every recreated scene that they did, I feel like they nailed it. But it's like when they were doing new shit, if it was new songs, if it was new scenes to get them to that 2 hours, I just kind of wasn't interested.
Yeah, I mean, there was 2 or 3 new songs? I think it was 3.
She did 2 in her head when she wasn't supposed to have a voice.
Yeah.
Eric had his own song, and then Scuttle and Sebastian had that rap. That shit was fire.
See, the funny thing is like the song with Eric was
Yeah.
But if you think about it, let's say for all sakes 3 songs. Let's say it was 4. If they're 2 minutes each, 2 to 3, that's 8 to 12 extra minutes.
Yeah.
That they could have, they could have added 1 or 2, like in Aladdin. There was that one extra song. She sang parts of that song twice in the movie, but the way it was implemented worked, and it didn't stretch anything out. No, but I mean, like within the time frame, like it didn't extend the movie as much.
Oh yeah,
a ton or not within the time frame. I just feel like these extra songs, they're not memorable. Besides the Aquafina and Sebastian, with David Diggs and Aquafina.
And I guarantee Aquafina wrote those lyrics.
But overall, I mean, the movie was solid. Halle Bailey, that girl could sing.
I didn't know. Yeah, I was not up on what's that Shaq gif? I was unaware of your game. I did not know she could pipe like that.
She can sing, and her acting, she was solid. I think she's gonna get better. She's a star on the rise. Like her new movie is The Color Purple.
Yeah,
that's the next one that she's in. So I want to see what's up with that. But overall, like I said, I gave it like a 7.5 out of 10.
Am I on? Is it working?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Okay. Because I 7.5. I went 3.5 out of 5, so I was probably around that same.
Yeah. Okay.
I get 4. I think my 4 is a touch generous, but I just thought it was one of the better live-action Disney remakes in terms of just how much I enjoyed it.
I don't know if I've looked at your list yet. Would you put it on your overall like Disney?
Yeah, because there's really, it's like Jungle Book, Cinderella, this, and Aladdin, I think are the 4 that I have like the highest rated. Then most of the other ones are either like 3.5s or 3s. Like I'm like, oh, that was fun. That was good. Oh, that was pretty good.
Number 3.
But I wanted to rewatch more before this, and I just didn't really have time.
Yeah, I wanted to too, and just couldn't make it work.
Like I didn't know, like Nick, like what you were saying. I mean, Randy, I didn't realize there was 20 live action ones. I forget like the 1990 something Jungle Book.
I was about to say Nick's got 21 on his list.
Yeah, so it's like
I'm on my list is only missing that '90s Jungle Book.
I loved the '90s one as a kid.
Mhm.
It's weird though because it's not like a direct remake of the Jungle Book. He's like an adult, but it's good. I always liked it.
Jason
And it's
Scott
not a-
Lee covering Bruce Lee to Mowgli.
Yeah.
Mhm. Now let me ask you this: for the Pinocchio one, which one is the live action for Disney? Is that the Tom Hanks one or the? It is a Tom Hanks.
Everybody
one,
was bashing that movie, and I wanted to love it. And then I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, so this is why nobody likes it."
I
haven't seen it yet.
watch it because I'm like, what did I miss? I didn't like love it, but I was like, wait, what did I miss that like everyone thought this was like the shittiest movie? I was like, I didn't think it was shitty. I just thought it like wasn't one of the best. Like
Yeah.
you know, it could have. But I didn't think it was shitty. I remember back in when they used to do The Wonderful World of Disney on ABC,
Mhm.
and they had Brandy Cinderella, and they had Geppetto with Drew Carey played Geppetto, and like Julia Louis-Dreyfus was the fairy. I remember that like it was yesterday. I remember thinking it was good.
This sounds like
Wait,
you're making this up on the spot.
Nope, it's true. I feel like Usher was in it, if I'm not mistaken. We need to Google
Usher.
it. He was like one of,
man.
like working at the Bad Boys Club. That's what I said. Like the Bad Boys like place where the kids went.
With
I feel-
JoJo.
Like it was like a whole thing. But I remember it. But I don't count those. I feel like you have to draw a line somewhere. Those weren't in
Yeah.
theaters.
So, did you get the scuttlebutt?
I did receive the Scuttlebutt. Again, that's another thing that's like, I don't know if I loved that song. I thought it was fine. It made sense, but like people are sharing those clips like out of context with the movie,
Yeah.
and they haven't even seen it. They're like, "Yeah, I'm not seeing this trash," and it's just like Scuttle doing the wah wah, like doing like the rapping.
Dude, I don't know what it is. Like, I used to be so irritated by Aquafina. Like, everything she did used to annoy the fuck out of me. I don't know if it's like I've accepted her now that she's like a part of the MCU. But I swear, since Shang-Chi, like, she's been killing it. And it was like that year. Like, Raya and the Last Dragon, I wasn't big on her character. And then she come out in Shang-Chi and was like, yeah, she was dope.
I liked her as Scuttle. I'm not gonna lie,
I
she
did.
got laughed out of me. Yeah,
Even though she could
But-
fly underwater.
she does it in one scene. It's like one, and everybody's freaking out. Like, oh yeah, the movie about mermaids is just. I'm so expected to believe that the bird can swim, and it's like, yes, I expect you to believe that for an hour and a half. You stupid fuck. Like what? Like that you found the reason. It's like what? I need another reason to boycott this movie.
Oh,
because
Like,
I can't. Racist.
yeah,
It's like, so that-
racists are going to fine tooth comb this movie. So
Yeah.
it's either going to be, I don't even know. With the fish looked too real. It didn't look like the animation.
bitching about Sebastian showing the side by side, and they were like, he was a lobster in the first one, obviously. And somebody was like, his name was Sebastian the Crab. Like, you stupid fuck. Like, he's a crab.
Sebastian
look
was
like-
my favorite part.
Yeah.
He was like, David Diggs stole the show
Yeah,
with
he did.
Sebastian. Really.
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't have a problem with any of the casting.
No.
Some that I compare this to the Cinderella, where it's like a lot of the old Disney movies, the princes were nobody. Like, they were just dudes. And Little Mermaid included. Like, Eric was just kind of a guy. He looked a little different than the average prince, but like he was just kind of a guy.
His backstory was kind of dope.
Yeah, like I thought the dude that played Eric in this
Was kind of perfect casting.
I didn't know him from anything.
No.
I even like Googled him, and I was like, I don't recognize him from anything. But I thought he was very good, and they had really good chemistry. What to me, I kind of liked the movie more when she got out of the water,
Mm-hmm.
because there were parts. The underwater scenes were really nice to look at, but there were parts specifically with Melissa McCarthy as Ursula
Yeah.
that were so. I thought her performance was fine. I was like, oh well, obviously perfect casting. But there were so much, pretty much everything involving her was so CGI overload to me that it was like too much. Like it looked like she was not playing Ursula. Like I was like, and she'd be talking to Ariel, and I was like, those two actors are not interacting with one another. Those two actors did not meet making the film. Like, it just looked like they were not even in the same thing. And it was so much that by the time she got out of the water, it was kind of like, okay, now we can let the story kind of take hold, and we can actually watch it instead of it being like just this nonstop. And I know people say that about Marvel movies. I feel like Quantumania had that in a lot of things. Like, oh my God, there's so much happening. But it doesn't always have that. You see the Hulk, and you're not just like, oh God, it's like a character. And there were parts of Ursula where I was like, she doesn't really look like a character. She looks like this giant CGI thing that is just in every frame.
Right. During this, what's the Poor Unfortunate Souls? Is there too much tentacle?
Yeah, she was all the tentacle. There's people bitching about that. She's an octopus in this one, but she was a squid in the first one. I'm like, where was that established?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like,
yep. I thought Eric's backstory was dope, and then you got the Ursula Triton backstory, and
it was cool.
Yeah, I was like, do I like that? I kind of like this. It gives her more motivation.
Yeah. The Eric thing with me, I did think about. And I was kind of like, so they make the whole thing take place on like a Caribbean island, which was cool. Like the vibes were really cool. Like she's walking through the town, everybody's playing music and doing the face, and it's fun. But it was kind of like, okay, they made this big deal. They got this black girl to be the Little Mermaid. And it's big deal. People made big hoopla about it and all this stuff. And they were like, who's going to play Eric? And they were like, Harry Styles. And they were like, well, no. We got to find another white guy to be Eric. It has to be some guy. And it was like, they bent over backwards to make it. It's like he's on a Caribbean island, and he was adopted by this, like, Caribbean royal family. And everyone on the island is, like, black and of color of some kind. But it's like, the Prince Eric has to be some white guy. Like, they were like, we can't have it be both. That's crazy. And like, to me, I'm like, you could have just had a black Prince Eric.
Yeah.
Like, he could have just, like, we found in a shipwreck, if you recall. And it was like, why? Like, just be like, we had you, you're our son. Go find your mermaid. And he finds the mermaid, and it's be the same story.
It is like, did anybody catch that Art Malik, the villain from True Lies, played like the butler guy?
Grimsby.
I did not realize that until like last night when I was looking at the cast.
Yeah.
It's funny too, like you're saying, Nick. This is a mythical creature, a mermaid.
Fictional.
I didn't know mermaids had skin color.
Exactamundo.
I was like,
it doesn't matter. What does it matter? It's like a dog. There's brown dogs. There's black dogs. There's dogs with spots. It don't matter. You notice the mermaids, when they came out at the end, they're all different color tails. So what did it matter?
And it was dope. Trident had a daughter for like each one of the 7 seas.
Yes.
Like, that was a cool detail.
Yeah,
they didn't
I like that.
Like, this girl's really dark. This girl's a redhead for some reason. This girl, it's like, I didn't give 2 shits. Like, I was just like they have tails. They're breathing underwater. Like, I don't get it. It's just like, you even think, like, when they all popped up at the end and there was, like, little kids.
Yeah.
Have little kids. Do they lay eggs?
Not to be off topic, but breaking news, Antonio Banderas confirms he is Galactus.
Cap.
What?
Antonio Banderas is Galactus.
In what? The Marvels?
Try Fantastic Four. But overall, like, I guess in one of the songs they changed the lyrics, and people are upset about that too. So it's like,
I don't think I could.
What was the song?
I don't even remember it. I didn't catch it until
I want to say
my wife told me about it.
I saw something in passing that people were crying that the original Kiss the Girl lyrics were kind of rapey. So maybe it was somewhere in there.
Maybe.
Whatever they did was still a banger, though.
I didn't catch it enough. there's things about the new one that they fix, and I think that's when they're at their best with these live action ones. Like, none of them are as good as the animated ones. The only one, and it's kind of a weird choice that I think is like close, is Dumbo, because the old Dumbo actually isn't that great. People act like it's like this classic, and it's not actually that great. I thought the live action.
The original Dumbo is kind of mid.
It's like, it's not a great film, but it's a classic. But there were things about The Little Mermaid that they kind of fixed without. No.
Damn, they froze up.
About Jasmine being her own person and Dalton. And it worked. It was fine, but it was very much like they were in the writer's room. Like, how can we make Jasmine be the "we can do it" poster and all this stuff? And it was like, well, this, I think, felt more normal. Like, if you watch the old Little Mermaid, she does the classic, the thing, "Daddy, I love him. Daddy, I love him." At that point, she has not spoken to Eric ever, even once. She has not met him at all. She's sank from the boat and stared at him while he was passed out, like maybe dead, like on the beach. She's just like looking at him. And then she pet the face, dives away. "Daddy, I love him." And it's like, oh, babe, like, no, you don't. They didn't do that in this one. It was more about, like, she was just fascinated by humans, and he kind of caught her eye. Like, she was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Her, like, taking her, doing all this stuff, like, she wasn't like, "I love this boy. I love the boy, and I'm going to be with the boy." Like, it didn't have anything to do with that, and that felt very normal narratively watching this one compared to the old. I think that was actually an improvement. And she went up, and they met and actually had chemistry.
And Nick's gone.
It's like voiceless performance, I thought. A lot of people can't do that.
Dude, this has nothing to do with anything. That was the first time that one of y'all like tweaked out and another one of y'all saw it, and it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
So we've established that Rocket's a liar because I can't find shit about no Antonio Banderas.
Oh, it's out of there. Trust me.
But yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, I thought all the performances was fire. Like, I feel like I'm the only one like on the hill that Melissa McCarthy was trying too hard to be the animated version. Everybody else was doing their own thing. I just felt like she was trying so hard to do her like Pat Carroll impersonation. No, maybe.
I'm not a big fan of Melissa McCarthy to begin with. But I think she did a solid job in this as Ursula. Like, I think she was casted for the right role. Yeah. But I also see now, looking back at it, what Nick's saying is with the CGI.
Yeah.
I can see that when she would interact, now looking back at it, she was probably doing her thing, another actor doing their thing, and then they just pieced it together.
It was like in Aladdin where Will Smith is the genie and he was blue for a little bit of it, but not the whole movie, because somebody was like, he can't look like this through the whole movie. That's crazy. They didn't have that conversation about Melissa McCarthy. They were like, well, she's going to look insane the entire time she's underwater. It's just going to be like jarring CGI until she's, the young girl for like 5 minutes. Which I thought they could have done more with that, actually, if they're going to pad out the runtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like the whole third act to me was super dope.
Mm-hmm. Ursula was cool.
Yeah. And even the battle, like we thought Trident was dead, and then Ariel found a way. Fucking Eric mixed in. Cause like that was like what they like cooked up fresh. That worked for me, like the whole final battle. Because I was sitting there like, bro, how, like, she's huge. How does Ariel beat this? Yeah. But then it was kind of like, wasn't even a fight. It was just like, oh, here's this. And then, like, it happened, and then they won.
They did. I thought the little, like, goodbye, like, after they went off, and she sang goodbye to her dad. Like, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
That
emotional.
was real good. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think my 4 is a little generous.
It's not.
I think
But
the only thing I wish they would have changed to it, or at least tweaked it, was at the end. When she was saying bye to her dad and all that, where like he changed her to be a human. I wish it would have been where whenever she wanted to, she could jump down to see them, and she's a mermaid again. And then whenever she comes out and land, like in Splash, something like that to that effect.
Rocket, we
what I mean?
saw that movie and it was called Luca.
Little Mermaid to be more like Splash.
But I mean, like I only wish that was the only thing they tweaked up at, just a little bit. Like she had the option to go see both worlds in that sense.
Like they made the Little Mermaid 2, and I already forget it. I feel like Ariel went back to.
I didn't even know there was a Mermaid 2, Little Mermaid 2.
Yeah, I remember it coming out because I remember watching it. I was probably like 10, 11. I remember like watching it. I don't remember loving it or hating it or anything, but I watched it the other day. It was shit. They have like a child. And then there was a prequel that allegedly came out in 2008 that I own. I don't remember even like getting it. I was like, I don't remember this coming out. So I watched it for the first time. It was better than 2. It wasn't great, but it was better than part 2. You guys
saw the Fast X of the Little Mermaid.
Like all the flashbacks from F9.
I was gonna watch all those, and then I got this bright idea to do the Spider-Man binge. Sorry, Little Mermaid sequels, but you're scrapped.
You saw her like meet Flounder, and that was really the only significant thing that I remember. You saw her.
Okay.
Yeah, Ariel's mom, I guess, got hit by a boat. Well, spoiler, I guess.
That's why Triton doesn't like humans.
And then, yeah, that ties into why he doesn't like humans. I guess that's something. It's not great, but it's something. It was better than 2. I didn't need to watch any of that to prep for this, but I felt like I needed to.
And Jacob Tremblay, the voice of Flounder, he sounded pretty accurate to the cartoon version, too.
His voice is like, have you seen him recently?
No.
He's like, he recorded his voice lines for this like years ago, I guess, because he's huge now. He's like 16 or something. He's like 6 feet tall. He looks like a little man, and he probably doesn't sound like that anymore when he talks. It's really sad.
He's taller than you.
Yeah, probably. But I just think he's in so many things like, the Good Boys and Predator and Room and all that stuff. And he's like cute little kid. As like, he's not little anymore. Like,
not anymore.
Over a year, he's like huge. So McCall, you can't do Little Mermaid 2.
She calls him daddy now.
Yeah. I love you.
When did they even announce this movie, man? How many times did his voice crack in the studio?
I don't know, but like he had to have done it years ago. I think he made a post. He was like before and after or something like that. And I was like, Jesus.
And Nick, you might be right, because I remember Prince Eric was supposed to be Harry Styles, and he turned it down. So that was.
I read that they offered it to him like 3 times or something like that.
Yeah, he turned it down each time. And how long ago was that? You know what I mean?
The dude that got the role was a better choice because he looks just like the cartoon version.
He was good.
He was good. He was real good.
Cinderella did the same thing, where it was like just some prince, just some guy. Didn't have to be anything special, but like they made the characters special. They made their chemistry together special. It made the story better.
Wait,
I like Cinderella.
Robb Stark is not just some guy.
Not some guy. Like, he's really good. Good performance. They give it, he's got this like relationship with his dad. His dad is dying and wants him to be happy. Like, not just like find a wife. And he's like explains like, oh, Dad, I just want to live up to you. And he's like, you already have, and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, this is really good. And in the old Disney movies, it's just he's some guy. Like, he's Prince, which is charming. I don't know.
Apparently, he lives in the castle that's the Disney logo now.
Is it the Cinderella castle? Yes.
You're the one that told me this.
I did. It was the Sleeping Castle or the Cinderella Castle. I think it's the Cinderella Castle.
I put a tweet out there. I made an ass of myself saying that there should be a Disney movie that takes place in the castle that is the logo. And some dickhead on Twitter at the Nick Goodman said, excuse me, hold my Cinderella.
It was like, oh, sweetie, oh no. Like, they should make a movie with Mickey Mouse and Goofy and Donald Duck together. And it's like, they did like 50 years ago. Like, they've made a bunch of those.
I'm sorry, I'm not the guy that's at your Cinemark pre-movie commercials.
Yeah. They should make a movie with Goofy and, like, you know, like a Goofy movie.
And that was only 1995.
They actually did already, and it was really good. They want a live-action Mickey Mouse movie. They want it to be a mouse and, like, a dog.
I would not be surprised.
No.
A duck hanging out.
That would not surprise me. What?
How would they do that? Mickey has a pet dog, but also, like, Goofy is like a dog, kind of. How would that? Would it just be two dogs?
It would just be two dogs.
Am I looking too hard into this?
Different breeds, of course.
Yeah, whoa.
But on that note, since we're fan casting Mickey Mouse the movie, next episode, I'm thinking half Spider-Verse spoiler talk, half Transformers spoiler talk.
Great.
Maybe. It's as good as Spider-Verse looks. It just might be a full 2 hours of Spider-Verse spoiler talk.
I'm good with that.
So if Transformers sucks.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about Transformers yet.
I haven't either, but
Me neither.
I'll be back. Wrap it up. Strike League Podcast. Ho. Yo, looking back, I kind of been through some crazy shit. Ups and downs ever since February 86. I keep small circles, that's where I'm well known. It's no way home for lames throwing bread around like Michelle Jones. In government class, recruiter was an Asian baddie. She said join the Air Force, and I said gladly. It took me a minute to accept that I'm flyer than a Green Goblin on a glider. No wonder AI coming up, cause y'all love fake shit. Anybody else do all the work but credit, y'all take it. Lame bitch, trash, get the accolades, talent wise, ain't shit, no bars, can't spit. For all intents and purposes, they ain't it. I inject all the facts, then they just act like a bitch. I kill them all, then they come back like they took a bath in the Lazarus pit. I take it to the max, and y'all just watching Barry. I'll beat your fucking ass with Jerry Lawler calling commentary. And chill until the next episode.